Plate.
Soup gets cold really fast when it's on a plate.
Anthropology.
Anthropology is the study of humanity.
Regardless.
In that moment, he had to act, regardless of the consequences.
Domestic.
Are you from a domestic flight or an international one?
Fume.
It is an insult to you, Mrs. Meade, he fumed.
Pit.
How long do you think it would take to dig a pit?
Quota.
There are new efforts to stop EU immigration quotas in Hungary.
Barb.
The American stick seed attaches itself to the fur or skin of passing animals with hooks and barbed spikes.
Harness.
We survive by harnessing the Earth's resources.
Opportunity.
I was offered an amazing job opportunity yesterday.
Initial.
So let's come back to the initial point.
Pebble.
Suddenly, Mr. Duncan saw the red pebble.
Devoid.
Without the magnetic field, Earth would be an airless waste, devoid of life.
Amble.
Lockhart ambled out.
Sharpen.
Principal Skinner, could you help me sharpen this pencil?
Dormancy.
They do it by slowing down their metabolism and going into a state of virtual dormancy.
Urge.
But I urge you to stay silent.
Viable.
Civil war was Caesar's only viable option.
Bland.
It's not bland, it's not boring.
Contribute.
Each worker contributed $1 to the Red Cross.
Trilogy.
Return of the King is the last book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Embed.
Fragments of red stone are embedded in the darker rock.
Auction.
The house is scheduled to go up for auction in 2 days. Feedback.
We all need people who will give us feedback.
Chronicle.
Local chronicles say that Shishan Saozi noodles originated 3,000 years ago.
Sober.
Sober Duncan is worse than drunk Duncan.
Taboo.
Eating human flesh is a taboo in civilized countries.
Prioritize.
We make smart choices. We plan. We prioritize.
Impel.
Why he did so, he could not say, but something seemed to impel him to the act.
Delinquency.
You can get arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Entourage.
I am in need of a new entourage. My previous crew was useless.
Concur.
I'm afraid I have to concur with my advisor, Wisdom Haley.
Ridicule.
What we fear is the judgment and ridicule of others.
Mischievous.
He was mischievous. He was kind of wild, but he was a great kid at heart.
Ensue.
Conflict ensues, and both sides suffer losses.
Consensus.
Still, there's no consensus on exactly why our bodies need sleep.
Kindle.
Yes, the fire had been kindled some time and burned well.
Lateral.
Wounds look similar. Same lateral incisions.
Eradicate.
But the first goal on the list was to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger.
Recede.
As winter recedes, the days get longer.
Operant.
He believed language was a product of associative principles and operant conditioning.
Aspire.
We don't envy success in this country. We aspire to it.
Canoe.
I like to go fishing in my canoe.
Patron.
Who's Hanover? Our patron. Our main investor.
Larynx.
These include the lips, larynx, tongue, and jaw.
Novelty.
The novelty of fatherhood did not wear off.
Ferment.
Beer and wine are fermented.
Severe.
Sadly, his wounds are too severe.
Breeze.
Did someone just feel a cold breeze?
Potential.
Looks like Anna has a potential new customer.
Anxious.
He was anxious and uncertain, wondering what he would hear.
Spinning.
And here are some workers at a spinning mill on their lunch break.
Fasten.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
Playwright.
He's also a painter, a master builder, and a playwright.
Contaminate.
The terrorists have contaminated the water supply. Bicameral.
The American legislature is bicameral. It consists of the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Pigment.
Pigments bring colour to the world.
Salmon.
I don't recommend the salmon. I saw it in the kitchen.
Major.
The world will see a major change.
Elegant.
Elizabeth wasn't beautiful, but she was elegant.
Stardom.
A long queue of girls waiting for their chance of stardom.
Carnivore.
The otter was one of the earliest carnivores.
Expedition.
The 2010 expedition failed due to bad weather.
Metropolitan.
Florida is very attractive. It has big metropolitan areas. Wit.
Oh, they didn't tell me about your quick wit.
Beverage.
Here is a hot beverage to comfort you.
Sediment.
The Amazon transports 1 billion tons of sediment a year.
Marble.
He hit his head on the marble floor.
Frivolity.
As an adult, it's easy to dismiss this stuff as girlish frivolity.
Seclusion.
His seclusion of the rabbit in the barn was kept secret from everyone else.
Edifice.
It's extraordinary to think that this magnificent edifice rested on simple wooden poles.
Constricted.
Harry had an unpleasant, constricted sensation in his chest. He did not want to say goodbye to Sirius.
Sidewalk.
Ice covers sidewalks and roads.
Absence.
No one seems to notice my absence.
Commerce.
We are businessmen. We deal in trade and commerce.
Tundra.
Further south, the winter snows have almost cleared from the Arctic tundra.
Bubble.
I can make bigger bubbles.
Abolition.
He campaigned for the abolition of slavery.
Reliable.
Lisa now has a steady, reliable source of income.
Perishable.
First, perishable goods do not make successful gifts.
Warehouse.
This family's entire state is locked in a warehouse.
Remote.
And in Africa, the remote places, it's hard to find a good road.
Inception.
Since its inception, NASA has served under 12 presidents.
Approximate.
The approximate weight of the bones is 12.43 kilograms.
Mature.
But you do think I'm mature for my age.
Authentic.
The photograph was undoubtedly authentic.
Meridian.
Tobacco's demand is that our forces retreat behind the 23rd meridian within 24 hours.
Combustible.
When glycerol is used as an accelerant, potassium permanganate becomes extremely combustible.
Leap.
Injun Joe had broken a window and leapt through it.
Malnutrition.
They're all in perfect health, no trace of disease or malnutrition.
Trash.
Mike, can you help me take out the trash?
Cookout.
Tom's bringing food for the Friday night cookout for everyone.
Scruffy.
I wouldn't want to appear too scruffy.
Threat.
Dobby is used to death threats, sir.
Craft.
They sometimes like to do arts and crafts together.
Adverse.
But unfortunately, some of these adverse drug reactions can be fatal.
Layout.
We need to study the layout of that structure.
Cousin.
You have a kind aunt and cousins?
Porcelain.
By 1720, Chinese porcelain had become widely available.
Solitary.
Well, enjoy your solitary dinner.